Hey everyone, David here with Headset Advisor. Hope you're doing well. We have the Poly Studio video bar that you see in front of me here. This is a USB webcam speaker and microphone all built into one for your smaller conference rooms, 10 to 15 max participants in one room so that you can all communicate for video meetings. Of course, that's the way that the new era is going. More Zoom meetings, more Microsoft Teams meetings, RingCentral, whatever video conferencing platform you have, we're all doing more of it, and that's why all of these manufacturers are starting to produce more of these video bars. So in this video, we're going to test the camera, the microphones, and the speakers so you can hear and see for yourself how this video bar performs. For those of you that are new to this channel, this is the channel where we review and compare all of the latest business technology, headsets, speaker phones, and cameras. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. All right, let's quickly talk about some of the specs of this video bar so you can get an idea of what it's all about before we get to testing. Now, a lot of the video bars are USB connectivity, so you just take a USB cable from the bar, plug it into your computer or laptop, and then that is how you communicate on a video meeting. Microsoft Teams, Zoom, RingCentral, whatever video conferencing platform you have, this is going to work with it, no problem. So plug and play to your computer, and then from your computer you can display it on a monitor or screen, the actual video conference, and then of course everybody can communicate with you through this device here. And it's all built into one, so you don't have to have extra devices, extra cables, more clutter. It's all built into this one bar, so it makes it nice and easy, no extra devices to worry about. So let's talk about some of the specs here. First, it has 4K video, which is always nice because it's adaptable to the future. Now, as of this video, there's not a lot of 4K video available, such as Zoom or whatever. I'm sure it's coming out soon, very soon, on all of the platforms, and especially as bandwidth and stuff gets better and better, 4K will be the standard, and you'll have a device that is future-proof, and you'll be able to take advantage of that full 4K quality. But from a streaming perspective, having that 1080p is plenty fine, but it's capable of 4K, just so you know. And then it does have 6 microphones built into this bar. So the most frustrating thing is if you're in a conference, a video conference, especially somebody remote, and there's multiple people sitting around this video bar and they can't be heard by the remote people. So it has 6 microphones, and of course we're going to test later how well that works, do a variety of tests. So stay tuned for that. But it's a USB video bar, one cable plugs into the computer for your video, speaker, and microphones. So let's get started at testing out the video and the audio. All right, now we are recording the video directly through the computer onto the Poly Studio here. This is in 4K, so this is the best quality that it can produce. Obviously, on streaming on a video meeting, you're going to be reduced down to whatever video conferencing is limited, but this is the max resolution that you could get with this studio. One cool feature I want to show you is how the pan, tilt, zoom feature works. I have it set to the speaker, so it's looking for the speaker in the screen and it's trying to focus its attention on them. So let me just go over here and see if it changes at all as I'm going off screen, but I'm going to keep talking, and sure enough, there we go. It has adjusted its pan, tilt, zoom so that it picks me up over here. Now let me go over to this side of the room so we can see what it does over here, and wow, it picked me up very quickly. That worked very, very well. Not confusing at all. And there's actually an LED light here on the camera that shows where the speaker is exactly in relation to the camera. So that's a pretty neat feature, and I'll show you that here in a little bit once we do the speaker test. But this is what it looks like with full lighting here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the lights and see how it does on low light All right, now the lights are completely dim, and this is how the video performs in low lighting. There's a little bit of light coming through the windows and the blinds, and then of course you have my background that has the purple still lit up. So this gives you a good idea of how well it performs. And looking at the video quality, that's a little bit pixelated, fuzzy, whatever you want to call that. But overall, it's performing very, very well in low light. All right, now we're gonna test the microphone. But before we do that, make sure you hit that thumbs up button right now and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on future videos like this. We're even gonna be doing a comparison of this Poly Studio as well as some other comparable models, so stay tuned for that. All right, so we're gonna test the microphone right now. So right now my voice is coming through the Poly Studio. This is what it sounds like. Testing 1, 2, 3, and I'm about 3 feet away from the Poly Studio device here. So now I'm going to step back, and now this is about 8 feet away from the Poly Studio device, and this gives you a good idea of how well your voice is picked up coming from the side of the studio as well as at 8 feet distance. And then we're going to do one more at about 15 feet. So that gives you a good idea of how well the microphone pickup is. And I will say that there is also a extension microphone you can get. So if you do happen to have a long conference table, you can actually get a microphone pod to allow your voice to be picked up further. So that is an option available as an accessory. So just keep that in mind. But let's go ahead and switch to the long range test. All right, so now we're at about 15 feet away from the Poly Studio, and this is what the voice quality sounds like at this distance. Obviously, you're gonna have this video bar underneath your TV, so that may be at the far end of the table more likely than not. So this is what it's going to sound like for somebody that's at the far end of the table. Now, keep in mind there is an extension that you can get for a microphone pod that will allow you to have even better sound quality for somebody that's further away from the Poly Studio. But this is what it sounds like without it. All right, I want to show you really quickly this Poly Lens software. You can actually adjust some of the settings that are on this video bar, but more importantly, what I want to show you is this feature to block out noise. So if you're in a noisy environment, maybe you have, sales staff in the room next door, or maybe you're next to a construction site or a busy freeway, whatever your situation is, Poly has some noise canceling technology that you can activate or deactivate. And in this video, we're gonna test, of course, with our signature blender test to see how well it cancels out that noise. So looking at the Poly Lens software here, you need to click into Studio. This is the device. There's our device. We go into Settings. Go into General here. It says use stereo audio. So that gives you better audio quality. Okay, so here's the Poly Acoustic Fence that blocks out background noise, and then you have Poly NoiseBlock AI. So I'm gonna do one test with just the Poly NoiseBlock AI, and then I'm gonna do another test blocking out the Poly Acoustic Fence as well to see if there's any distinguishable difference. So let's get started on the first test here with Poly NoiseBlock AI only. All right, so now we have the Poly Studio plugged in. There's no background noise going on right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fire up the blender, and then you can see how loud it is in this environment. I speak at about 75 decibels here. So let's go ahead and turn that on. All right, it's on at about 73 decibels here next to me. So that'd be really loud if you have people outside the office, or maybe a loud air conditioner, something like that, or maybe somebody has a fan on. This might be the amount of volume that you would expect. So the voice bar is trying to pick up my voice and trying to block out that blender. And so we're going to turn on the Acoustic Fence right now so that you can hear what that sounds like. All right, and now this is with the Acoustic Fence set to medium and the NoiseBlock AI turned off. So this is what the audio microphone sounds like through the Acoustic Fence. All right, so that was a full testing of the microphone on the Poly Studio. I'm curious to hear your feedback. What did you think of the microphone performance and especially the noise canceling, Acoustic Fence, and blackout technology that Poly has? So what did you think? Put it in the comment section below. We'd love to get your feedback about that. So what we're going to do now is test the speakers to give you an idea of how loud and how good this speaker sounds on this video bar. All right, so what we're going to play right now is a Zoom meeting, live Zoom meeting. So this gives you a really good idea of how well it performs. And as you can see, I'm talking at about a 75 to 80 decibel range. That's how loud my voice is projecting in this room. That's about 10 feet wide by 20 feet long. Gives you an idea of that. And I apologize in advance, but you can blame fellow YouTube viewers as this is feedback we've gotten as you want a real world example of how this video bar is going to be used in a video room, in a conference room and for video conferences. So Jeff, go ahead and play.
Welcome everybody. We'll start with the apologies, and I guess we have Hazel. Everyone else seems to be here, I think. So could I have a mover, please?
Andrew, just before you do, I have to leave the meeting at 1:30 to attend a future-proof meetings.
All right. So if you listen to that, like communication back and forth, you could clearly hear the voices between each of the speakers there. And then also it sounded kind of bassy. So it had a really crisp sound. I really liked it actually. So what we're going to do next is play some music, give you kind of an alternative way to test the audio. So Jeff, go ahead and play the audio. All right, you can cut it. All right, so at max volume, it was somewhere near 80 to 81 decibels, which is about the volume of my voice as I'm speaking here, maybe a little bit more. So I think that's definitely sufficient for most rooms. Now, as far as having, the best music, and movie audio experience, it's not going to be that, but it's going to get you great for your video meetings. So just keep that in mind when you are considering this. And out of the other video bars that I've tested, this is true for all of them. So I thought this performed very well as far as the speakers go. So if you have a room that's 10 by 20, this will work perfectly fine. 15 by 15, somewhere in that range, 10 to 15 participants is what I would say that you're kind of in your max range. So it's really, if you're talking by Microsoft Teams standards, this is what would be considered designed for a small conference room. So just keep that in mind as you're making your selections. And if you need help finding, the best video bar, headsets, speakerphones, the business technology for your company, please don't hesitate to reach out to our team. That's what we do all day long. So we are happy to make a recommendation, get you matched up with the right product. I'll put our info on the screen and in the video description below. Overall, I was quite impressed with the performance of this Poly Studio. You have quite a few options as far as being able to change the settings through the Poly Lens software. The tracking was spot on, and you can actually change the speed of how fast it tracks you back and forth. But I thought it did a very good job considering it has one lens, and it pan, tilt, and zoom quickly and got it onto the speaker, got the focus onto the speaker, which I really appreciate as far as having a video conference. And if it's just one view that looks really zoomed back, it's hard to communicate clearly. You can't see their face, you can't read their lips, can't see the facial expression. So being able to have that tracking feature find you, zoom in on you, and really engage with whoever you're speaking with on the other end, whether they're at remote or a different, huddle room location off-site somewhere. It enhances the video experience. Now, the MSRP price on this unit is $950, and of course it's available on our website. Make sure you use coupon code YouTube. That's going to get you the best discount on this product that we offer. So all one word, YouTube. The link will be in the video description below, and it comes with a 1-year warranty. It has Bluetooth built in, and then it also has Wi-Fi. So if you have an IT team and need to deploy this to multiple rooms, you can have IT manage it remotely, connected on Wi-Fi, and be able to manipulate the settings in the device, which makes it even easier to manage for your employees. So that's something to consider. Make sure you reach out if you need any assistance, help with any of this stuff. We're happy to help, free of charge, of course. Just appreciate the opportunity to help nonetheless. Well, that's all I got for you today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, as we're going to compare this against other brands live on video so that you can hear and see for yourself which one performs best. Well, thanks a lot for tuning in, and we will see you next time. And don't forget to check out this video right here. I think you might like it if you're watching this video. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.